On this episode, we're working on the Honda. So this is a 1986 Honda Interceptor 500 that I cut and chopped and turned into a cafe racer slash scrambler slash Frankenbike. So it's running a Buell front end. It's a CBR 600 rear wheel with a kit. CBR 600 shock. You can't see it, but a SV 650 sprocket, the 520 chain. It's a mix. But before we get into that, I just wanted you to know I literally spend tens of minutes getting ready for this every day. So I have to go to wardrobe and get my outfit picked out. I mean, you can't find these holy shorts anywhere. They're very genre specific. And the makeup chair, literally spend minutes fixing my hair before we come out here and work on the stuff. Today we're gonna flip the shifter and we gotta tighten up this chain a little bit, see if I can get some more adjustment out of the rear. So there's not a kit to switch this from 530 to 520, so I made my own. And it was just by accident, but the SV 650 sprocket fits CBR 600 rear wheel with a VF500 hub. The spacing is correct. I couldn't find a 520 front sprocket. And there's another way to do it, and you probably should do it that way, but I just wanted to see. So I put it on the grinder. 530 is 8 mil, 520 6 mil, and I ground off 2 millimeters. I did it by hand on a grinder wheel. I just went around in circles, and then I feathered the edges up a little bit, and I finished it off with sandpaper, well, a sanding wheel. It made it look pretty. So it's running a 15, and I think that's a 44? A 15 and a 45. 118 links on the chain. You probably should be 120. It's a little tight up here, but the 530 was rubbing on this side of the tire. Now the 520's got plenty of clearance, but I need a little bit more backwards go. So I have a 14 tooth sprocket, but I have to grind that down in order to get it to fit. So probably the best way would be to take it to a machine shop, have them throw it on a lathe, spin it, and hit it with the lathe, and take 2 mils off to make it fit. But when I built it a couple of years ago, I set it up for MotoGP shift just because, and there's nothing wrong with MotoGP shift. The problem is I have two other motorcycles that are standard shift. So even though I wrote it on the Triple Tree GP shift, whenever I ride it, I always mess it up. So I'm gonna switch it back because my foot won't get in the way. So these are NCR 400 rear sets. This is all eBay stuff, but it works. I drilled out and welded nuts into the frame to mount this, so the mount is good. And the system works. No problem. It's just backwards. So it's not hard to switch. We just have to flip the shifter, and then it'll go back to regular style 1 up, 5 down, instead of 1 down, 5 up. Wait, it'll go to where it's normal. Let's put it that way. Whatever that, 1 down, 5 up. Yeah, that's normal. Instead of 1 up, 5 down. I think I said that. We shouldn't have to move this. All we really need to do is take this loose. This peg comes off. We have to take the shift boot off and then flip it and put it all back together, and then I'm gonna try to adjust this chain a little bit more to get more clearance on the tires. I got a little bit of play in it. I can take some of this out. I'll have to find the tight spot. If not, then I'll probably spend the rest of the night grinding on the 14, put that on. I can show you the difference. So this is the 15 530 and this is the 14 530. So it's smaller. That'll let me shift my tire back. And then this is a 520. So you can see the width difference. This is basically 8 mils, this is 6 mils. So if I want to tune this up, I got to grind it to match this. The inner profile or distance is the same. It crosses over. The chain hits in the grooves where it's supposed to. We're just thinning them out so that the chain can fit over each spline, each whatever that fucking thing's called, whatever you want to call it. I know what it's called, it escapes me right now. So first let's flip the shifter. Let me take this loose. I did a lot of other stuff. I switched everything to socket cap bolts. And they're all titanium. The bike is light. All of this is titanium. All of it. Everything external. These grates are stainless. They're thick and they're heavy. So I can drop more weight by taking these off, but I'm not doing that today. That will come up later. The good thing about titanium is it doesn't rust. Now then, the peg, there's a Allen bolt back here. And we really just need to hold it because the foot peg is all aluminum and it's grooved for a wrench. Now, this is bigger than 19. I don't remember what size it is, but I'm lucky. I've got my metric spanner. This one is very unique because it's metric and American at the same time. So it'll fit every metric bolt you have. And then if you flip it over, it fits the American bolts. So dual purpose, I highly recommend it. All you have to do is squeeze it down to the proper metric size. And then give it a tug. Give it a tug. Who put this on? There we go. Oh no, I lost it. Give it a tug. I think I put Loctite on that. If I didn't, I probably should have. So we don't really have to take everything off. We just take this thing off. And this has got assorted spacers on it, but it's got a ball bearing in there, so it spins really smooth. So we just flip it over like this, but now our shifter's on the wrong side, so we take this off. Let me put it on the bench. Okay, so that had Loctite on it. This had Loctite on it. So this is, I flipped it on the bench. It's a little dirty. I'm gonna wipe it down. I don't recall what that's from, but that was my old spacer. Get the metric side. Kickstand is in the way again. That looks pretty good. I'll have to get on it. I can shift this back some, pull it off, rotate it, put it back on. So first, let's do this. I like it. I like it right there. That'll work. So then all we have to do is run our lock nuts down. Of course, this one's going to be a pain now because the shifter's in the way. Oh, you know what we could do? Yeah. I like it. And that's first gear. And then shift up to neutral, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 12th, and then back to neutral. So we went from GP shift, flip that over to regular shift, flip it down. I got clearance on everything. Loctite, Loctite. These have lock nuts. This has a castellated nut or nylock nut. That was pretty simple.